Hi everyone, it's Sajid, and I don't read enough books in 1 month to do a monthly wrap-up. So, I'm going to be doing my own thing from now on, and I'm going to be wrapping up every 5 books that I read. So this is my first wrap-up of 2016. So the first book that I have to share with you is Sisters by Raina Telgemeier. I've sat down for quite a long time and contemplated everything that I wanted to say about this book. This is a graphic memoir about a girl and her experiences with her sister on a road trip that they went on as children. That's pretty much all I have to say about this book. I didn't feel like there was anything more to talk about, and I shouldn't really say that because I read this book a month ago and I really can't remember half of the things that went on. All I know is that they went on a road trip, the sister had a snake, and the snake scared the crap out of the author, which I can empathize with, and they had like flashbacks to when they were younger so that you could kind of get a better idea of the family dynamic. That's pretty much all I can gather from this book. I'm so sorry, but that's all I have to say. But I will give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I read it on a plane and it was very good company for that 2-hour-long plane ride. So yeah, I would recommend it if you want to read something fast and cute and fun, and the art style is pretty cool as well. If you didn't know, Raina Telgemeier is actually the artist for the Babysitters Club graphic novel series, so if you like those, then you should definitely check out her memoirs. So I also read a graphic novel, and that was Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. This one is about Nimona, this girl right here, who is the sidekick to evil villain Dr. Ballistaire, Sir Ballistaire, Lord Ballistaire. I really can't remember this guy's name. They go on all sorts of fun, evil endeavors together, and Nimona gets to learn that Ballistaire's idea of evil is much different from hers. And this book was really a nice twist on the whole good versus evil narrative. Who is really good and who is really evil, and who should you trust and who should you not trust. It also has a really interesting magic system. It's set in a medieval style world, but it led me to believe that this is actually set in a repressed futuristic society because there is advanced science along with the magic, and one of the scientists in this book is actually studying magic with science, which I think was really cool. Applying science to magic is a very interesting concept to write about, and that was explored really well in this book. I plan on doing a full review to flush out everything that I want to say about this book, but for now I would say that it's a really good book. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, 4 to 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I highly recommend it to everyone. This is appropriate for all readers, and I think everyone should read it. It's a good book. I also read The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, and I already did a full book review that I will link you to, where I said everything that I needed to say about this book. But what I can say now is that every one of you watching this video need to go read this book, like right now. Like, no, finish watching the video first, obviously, and give it a thumbs up and stuff like that. But then go and read this book, because I think it is one of the most important, impactful, and powerful books that I've read in quite some time. It's about a young girl named Esperanza, who is the daughter of Mexican immigrants, growing up on Mango Street, which is a poor suburban kind of area in Chicago. It's told in a series of vignettes which don't really follow a plot or a storyline, and it's more of a coming-of-age story where a girl is giving accounts of her observations and experiences as a young woman of color growing up on a street like this with other immigrants, other people who are suffering from poverty and other sorts of social issues, being people of color and being immigrants in American society. I highly recommend that you pick this book up. It was really good. The next book that I have to talk about is The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente. The title of this book is a hella mouthful, but I promise you that this is one of the best books that I've read in quite some time. This is the first book in the Fairyland series, which is about a girl named September who is whisked away to this magical land called Fairyland. So it's inspired a lot by books and stories like The Wizard of Oz and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, where a young girl is taken away from her reality and cast away in this unseen, unknown parallel universe with magic and whimsical, crazy creatures and stuffs going on. This book to me is just like those stories, but it brought its own message to the table. It had a different twist to the whole adventuring in a foreign kind of fantasy land narrative. But this book was a bit different in that I found it to be very raw and real, mixed up together with the crazy, whimsical, fun, magical, mystical stuff. So I loved it. I highly recommend it, and I did a full book review where I talked about all of these things, so I definitely recommend that you check out that one as well. The final book that I have to talk about today is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, and this is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles. In case you didn't know, the Lunar Chronicles is a series of sci-fi fairy tale retellings, and each book is kind of based off of a different classic fairy tale, and each book, in addition to introducing the new kind of fairy tale inspired story, also continues the stories of the previous books. So this is the second book, and it is introducing the story of Scarlet, which is inspired by Little Red Riding Hood, and it is also continuing the story from the first book, Cinder, which was inspired by the story of Cinderella. So these stories are kind of told parallel to each other, so you are constantly jumping back and forth from Cinder's and Scarlet's stories until the very end, where both of these stories gradually kind of start to collide with each other and intertwine into one epic finale. I think that overall I enjoyed Cinder's story a lot more. I felt like Scarlet's story was too typical young adult dystopian, and I really did not like the romance. I felt that it was kind of toxic and very insta-love and rushed, and it didn't agree with me as a reader. I think one of the main reasons why I enjoyed Cinder's story a lot more was because of the science fiction element. One thing that I love about this series is the science fiction element of it, and I felt like if I got that a lot more when reading Cinder's story, mainly because Cinder is a cyborg, and for most of this book she was on a spaceship, and her best friend is a robot. So obviously you're going to be getting a lot of science fiction when you're reading about Cinder. But Scarlet, with her divergent style jumping on and off of trains, and her annoying, typical one-dimensional, overprotective boyfriend love interest who she was fighting with at first, but then instantly in like 2 seconds fell in love with, was just annoying me. It was just annoying me, and I felt like if I was starting to lose all of the hope and love that I had for this series until the last 100 pages or so, when shit got real, the two stories started to combine, action-packed every single page, it was raw, it was gripping, it was graphic, it was heartbreaking, and it was really damn good. And I think that overall I would give Scarlet a 4 out of 5 stars. What am I doing? Okay. So, that's going to be it for my first wrap-up of 2016. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have read any of these books, please let me know what your thoughts were on them down below, and I will see you all again soon, inshallah. Goodbye.